Candace Owens spent months bashing President Trump. And now she's begging him to save her from the Macron's lawsuit. Sorry, Candace, loyalty isn't a switch you flip when you're in trouble. Take a look.
The more that I think about it, the more absurd it is. Now, the Trump administration, who purports to care about free speech, that was what they ran on. Of course, they're not doing any of that stuff anymore. They're creating DEI for Israel and pushing through laws to redefine anti-Semitism. But they pretended to care about free speech. And you had J.D. Vance, who went over there to Europe and gave a whole speech, tisk to all of you European leaders that are no longer listening to what your constituents want and are instead punishing them for their speech. If the majority of your constituents think something, you can't create laws and punish them. Right? That was kind of the gist of his speech. The markets have decided what they want, and now you're punishing these people. That's crazy, he said. America's going to be a leader. We don't believe in this. We won't support this. Then you have a literal European leader that is basically saying F you to the American Constitution, right? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte are saying, you know what? We don't like that podcaster in America. And we are going to launch a lawsuit that's never been launched before, an unprecedented lawsuit to impoverish her for speaking. And both J.D. Vance and Trump have not issued a statement. In fact, where are the journalists even asking them to make a statement? Okay, a state leader is speaking about your constituent and launching a lawsuit and saying you're going to impoverish them for executing their First Amendment right. Where are you? If you are Trump, the first thing you should have done, if you purport to care about America and our Constitution, as you're supposed to be the person that's defending that day in and day out, you would come out and you would say, I don't even know whether I believe that she's a man or woman. Doesn't matter, right? I didn't watch the series. Fair. He didn't watch the series. He could even say, like he said to me on the phone, that I looked at her real close on the Eiffel Tower and it looked like a woman to me. Okay, you can say all those things, but you should say it's unacceptable. I'm a leader of this country. It is unacceptable that this leader would threaten the First Amendment in any way. We don't need Pam Bondi rushing to issue a statement about a college male that's been shoved by a student for wearing an IDF shirt, okay? We don't need the federal government getting involved on something so meaningless. But we might need our federal government when it comes to this, okay? The job of the federal government is to defend us against foreign invaders. And I would pretty much say Emmanuel Macron right now is being a foreign invader. But no, they're silent. They are silent. And that's a pretty loud silence right now. Because if I remove myself out of the situation, it is crazy that Trump has been silent on this matter, especially after Emmanuel Macron flew and tried to get Trump to shut me up. He knows what Emmanuel Macron is doing and how desperate he is to do it. So why is he allowing this attack on our speech?
No, ma'am. President Trump is busy negotiating peace deals is what he's doing, and so much more. Folks, we are back. It is Friday Night Live, and it's time for Pop and Politics. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-hosts. All right, of course, we have Nicole Bennett.
Hey, family.
And Shelly E.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so before we light this fire, do your part. Tap that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. We're live on YouTube and Rumble. If you're on the go, you can catch us on Apple Podcast or Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. We love our chat. We shout out every super chat. So drop your thoughts, show your love, and join the conversation that the mainstream media wishes didn't exist. This is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. We stand for freedom, but you can't be dumb, okay? Stand with us and subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, ladies, let's set it off. I am so fired up behind this. Do not come for President Trump. Do not. Particularly when we know for years the left has been coming for him. The man has taken a bullet for us. Everyone's coming against him. It hasn't been fair. And now we have Candace Owens coming against him and begging him to assist her in her lawsuit again that he told her not to do and now she's trashing him for it. I want to get your thoughts, Shelley. What are you thinking on this?
Well, Candace, no. The first thing President Trump should have done is exactly what he has done. Closing our borders, getting our economy back on track, making these tariff deals, if you will, making ceasefires, stopping wars. Candace Owens and this Macron bullshit should not even have been on his list. Okay. Now, secondly, Candace, Macron didn't just fly here to President Trump for your purposes. He used the opportunity while he was here to bring it up. Okay. Now, granted, I still don't believe it, but okay, it's supposedly it happened. Okay. That's why he didn't just come here and call President Trump all because Candace Owens. But hey, Candace, you have a husband that's closer to France than we are. Why don't you use your husband and your father-in-law to go and make deals with the Queen and let the Queen make the deals with Macron? I mean, hell, why not do that? You have so much influence. I don't even know why this should be on President Trump's agenda. Okay. And Candace, since you value freedom of speech, I know they don't have the same constitution in France, but then you should welcome anyone coming here, Macron in the free world, and speaking their mind freely to you. And they are doing that by way of a lawsuit. They are taking the legal ramifications, or the legal means, I should say. That's what they're doing. I don't know how the suit will turn out. No one does, but they are doing, as far as we can tell, they are taking the legal aspect, and that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Nicole, what did you think of her, that rant that she did coming after President Trump?
She's self-serving as per usual. This is what she does. Her world consists of her, and all the rest of us are just kind of background for what she wants to do. In no way, shape, or form should a sitting president of the United States intervene in a cyberbullying case where she indeed has cyberbullied a sitting head of state's wife. This has not been, unknown to Candace. She saw this coming. Again, they gave her 219 pages of absolute evidence that she needed to cease and desist, that Bridget McComb is indeed a woman. She persisted. She did a 5-part series to increase her wealth based on this truth, untruth, lie, whatever it is. Free speech, indeed. She has the absolute right to talk her trash. But the consequences from free speech is what she's trying to run from. President Trump has his hands full with world peace. The last thing he needs to do is help Candace secure the bag.
Absolutely. I mean, and not only that, but after months of her trashing President Trump, then she started nitpicking about J.D. Vance and playing queen of the hot takes. Suddenly, of course, the Macrons filed this lawsuit, and she's calling it a foreign invasion and begging for help. And let's not forget, by her own words, Trump told her to stop bullying Brigitte Macron. She didn't listen. And now she wants to jump into the ring for her. She wants him to jump in the ring for her. So no, you don't get to set the fire to the house and then cry for the fire department you've been mocking. Okay. And she has been coming for President Trump hard. I mean, talking about his stance about the Marxist anti-Semitic comments on college campuses. Folks, these people that President Trump is highlighting, these people that he is coming after, are the same people that have been assaulting our police officers in New York City, in Baltimore. These are the same Marxist people who are pushing for transgender rights and trans surgeries for our minors, for trying to take away parental rights. It's all the same group of people, and she is on the side of them. She's now on the side of these people as far as college campuses and things like that. So no, I don't want President Trump to get involved. I want him to continue doing what he's been doing, getting rid of the Department of Education, brokering peace deals to make this world safer, getting rid of DEI on college campuses, in schools, and all over in workplaces. He has been doing a great job, and shame on her, because she said this out of her own mouth, that she regretted pushing people to vote for President Trump, because she felt like all that he's done thus far has been a total disappointment. That's what she said.
She surely did. And look, KJ, two things. Someone put in the comments, and I was going to mention this for a while, especially since the Kim Klacik thing with Candace. I forget who said it, Lord Jammer, I think. I have been railing against Candace in a sense that I've said it to you all. I thought she did that for her own celebrity. She went after Kim basically for nothing. She went after Kim, and since that, it sealed in my mind that day that she wanted celebrity. That's number one. She has to be the center. Number two. Number three, I don't know. I mean, you all heard what she said. Notice a word that she said, impoverish her, or two words, I should say, that they are impoverishing her. This is about money. So maybe this hiring all these lawyers, from what I heard Megyn Kelly say, the Delaware courts and getting a defamation lawyer is very expensive. So maybe this is really touching her pockets. And so now she's saying, oh, they're trying to impoverish me. I follow the money. Maybe the clickbait, Candace, is starting to fade out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's definitely going on the money train right now. She's trickling it in. She's planting little seeds. We're going to see probably a GoFundMe sooner or later, but this woman is a multi-millionaire, folks. I mean, she's a millionaire on her own right. But now she's married to a lord in England, and I believe she has dual citizenship via her husband, okay, which is another issue. But anyway, so we're talking a multi-millionaire. Her husband is a multi-millionaire. Her husband's family are millionaires. And again, we have no issue with people, growing, establishing wealth and things like that. But don't sit here and you've created this defamation suit by your own making. You were asking for it basically throughout, your podcasts and things, you daring them to do it, going on and on. And now when you're in it, you want us to pay for it. And let me tell you, I was a huge Candace Owens fan. I mean, this is heartbreaking what has happened to her. It really is. I never ever thought this would be on my Bengal card, that she would go after President Trump. She would be so anti-Jew. I mean, the list goes on. Now she's on the side of these pro-Palestinian people on college campuses, these Marxists, these anti-America, America hating people. I mean, the list goes on. It really is heartbreaking. It really is.
It's disheartening in that kind of way. But I will tell you, me personally, as a friend of Kim Klacik, I found her attack on Kim absolutely reprehensible. There are some people, and this is just going to get really real in this moment, you guys. There are some people who believe that there can only be one Black female Republican that's kind of the tip of the spear. Rather than say, okay, listen, all of us have a point of view. There's space for all of us here. They say, no, it's just me. And Candace is heavy on the me's. Say what you want about, her investigative journalism things that she's done, but she has gone after disabled people. She has gone, again, Kim is my friend, so I'm just going to preface it with this. Kim Klacik is a lovely woman by everybody's account, an absolute angel of a person. She's probably one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet. She would give you the clothes off her back and then go buy you more clothes. This is who she is. To be attacked so viciously, whether true or not about the decisions in her past, by someone who claims to be on the same team, by someone who claims to walk the same walk that she's walking, was reprehensible to me. So I've never been, from that point, she was already kind of iffy with me, but from that point forward, was not really a fan. Then the thing with the disabled people, right? That's an issue. And then, not so much attacking the president, because he is the president and is open to criticism from the left, the right, the center, makes no difference. But it seems to me that she wants to use her celebrity as a reason why everyone should act above what they would do for a regular citizen. Listen, defamation suits happen all the time, all of the time. Sometimes those defamation suits do impoverish people. That's the choice you have to make when you do a 5-part series on the wife of a sitting head of state. Listen, they gave her every opportunity to walk this back. They gave her every opportunity to stand up and say, maybe I misjudged it. Maybe someone gave me bad information. But at this point, I don't blame them. I would come for all 20 million of those dollars, every single one. Now, her father-in-law will probably just write him a check and give him some more, and she probably won't stop. But the court of public opinion is going to judge her harshly, because who's next? Who's next on her hit list for some reason that she dreams up out of the air? This is outrageous behavior, and she should be punished for it.
And keep this in mind. I've said this before, Nicole, you're right. Just because someone accuses anybody of something does not mean that the other person has to prove them wrong. They don't, the Macrons are under no obligation to respond to her accusation or even say, no, let me, no. And in this social media environment, that just amplifies that. That's the opposite, or it's twisted thinking. Just because you accuse someone of something does not mean that you are right, number one. And it does not mean that they are automatically on defense and have to come out, and say, oh, no. No, they don't. They don't have to do that. You have to bring the facts or the truth or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just looking in the chat, and someone mentioned that I forgot all about it, how hard she went after Steven Crowder during his divorce.
Yeah.
Like she was involved. I mean, at some point, there has to be a chin check to say, okay, listen, you can report, you can have an opinion about the reporting, but when you start to dwell into people's personal lives, it's not unfair when they do the same thing to you. And for you to literally think that you're important enough on this planet to call the most powerful man on this planet and say, oh, I started a fight and I might lose, so I need you to jump in and protect me, seems, crazy work to me. It's absolute crazy work.
Well, I have a prediction. This is going to get ugly. I think this is going to get very ugly. I think as we get closer and closer to this lawsuit, Candace Owens is going to get more and more unhinged and ugly and start really trashing President Trump and anybody else who is in his circle. Yep. So, as the more and more that he does not assist her in any way or does not publicly speak out about this, she is going to go in on him. And so we're just going to have to wait and see. And I saw someone talk about, her series. Yes, I did watch part of it. And I wish she would have just stuck on the portion about the pedophilia and the occult and things like that. I wish she would have just stuck on that instead of going down this rabbit hole of whether or not Brigitte Macron is a man. I mean, really, it's neither here nor there. What she should have really maintained and really talked more about and really made the major issue is the pedophilia and occult and all of that type of stuff in these elite circles in France, even here in the US, and so on. Mm-hmm. But she knows she has no foot to stand on that. She's lost all legitimacy and really the moral high ground when she goes off on rants talking about sexual immorality and over sexuality of our sexualization of our children and things like that. And she remains silent on Kanye West, who she not only remains silent, but she actually supports, she actually advocates for as he walks the streets of LA and all over the country with a half naked woman and near his kids. Okay. So, it's really, I lost respect for her at that point, friend or not. You are out here talking about modesty and so on and so forth, and you gallivant around with Kanye West, and then he's out here, saying all types of and spewing Jew hate and walking around with a woman that's just disgusting, and parades her around pretty much naked. I mean, she's literally got on see-through stuff 24/7. So, and not only that, but she's very good friends with the Tate brothers. Who are also degenerates. So, I mean, there's something in the buttermilk that ain't clean.
Exactly. I was just about to say the same thing. It's easy for her to cast aspersions against other people, but when you look at her circle, there's an issue. Right. So, I think she's very good at being an investigative journalist, make no mistake. But I agree with you, KJ, that if she would have stayed with the pedophilia and the occult, she would have been okay. Yeah. But I don't think people would have paid much attention to that. By mixing in the Macron thing, it gave it international wings instead of yet another story about pedophilia and elite rings of people abusing children and young women. So
she took the wrong layer. I mean, again, I don't really care if that woman or man is either one or the other. I mean, whatever. She's one or the other, okay, biologically so. But again, Candace is bringing all of this sensationalism. I think she sensationalized, if you will, the pedophilia part, which she could have done very well, stating like you all said. But she had to bring so much attention to herself. And, by way of this story, I mean, get it. Everybody on social media, of course, you want people to come to your page and support, subscribe. I know we do. Like, share, and subscribe. Okay. No qualms about it. And I don't knock anyone for doing that. But Candace is, in my never to be humble opinion, for a long time, I've thought this. She has to be the center. And she's going to find a way to do that. And in her doing so, she will knock down people, in my never to be humble opinion, for absolutely no reason. Like she turned on President Trump. I mean, like you said, KJ, she said the words, she was sorry, or whatever word she used. She regrets voting for him. And that was just recently she said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So folks, we will continue to follow.
But then turns right around and asks him to protect her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. We will continue to follow this story. We had to comment on this because, we are MAGA all day here. We are America first here. And we want to see President Trump's this presidency a success, as it has been so far. It has been a success. Again, there are some bumps in the road. He's not perfect, but for the most part, this has been a success, and we are still on board. And so we're going to continue to follow up and watch out what's going on this. We have some super chatters here, folks. Thank you all so much. Certainly appreciate you. All right, let's see here. Kung Fu CJ with the $5 super chat says, "All right, ladies, but keep clean tonight. Psyched." Okay, thank you, Kung Fu CJ. All right, we have Allie with a $10 super chat says, "I'm starting to think Candace has been a fraud from the start, and she's been showing her true colors ever since her husband became a citizen. Her arrogance is crazy." Yeah, it is. It's mind-blowing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Allie. All right, Veronica with a $20 super chat says, "Love your dedication and all your hard work, ladies. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support." All right, Dee got a podcast with the $2 super chat says, "Please have me on the show. I definitely disagree." Okay.
I want to hear what his disagreement is.
Yeah, we got to bring him on the show. All right.
For sure.
How do I get on the show? Love y'all, but I disagree. Okay, we'll do this again because this is our Friday night live, so it's not as long. Maybe Monday. We'll definitely have you on and talk about it. Yeah. All right, folks. Say that again, Nicole.
Call-in show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, our call-in show. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's get back on this again. Let's go back to that breaking news out today, talking about President Trump. Historic moment. So, as predicted, the Trump administration's peace initiative has delivered another win. Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev traveled to D.C. today and signed a historic peace agreement at the White House. We have the clip. I think we have a clip here. Yes, clip 4. Take a look.
President of the United States, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia will now sign the joint declaration on the outcomes of the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity Summit.
That's really
They will
beautiful.
sign 3 copies in English. The President of the United States signs as a witness to the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia, affirming their path to peace, stability, and prosperity. We kindly ask that all guests remain seated for the signing of the documents.
is so great, and we'll hold up. How about holding up that document? All right.
Wow. What an amazing event. Nicole, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, I don't know what the Nobel Committee is going to do. I know that he's gotten several nominations over the course of his political life, but most assuredly since this second term. It is amazing how he's making these deals and bringing people to the table. They've been at conflict, 30 years? It's been an ongoing, all out assault against each other since the breakup of the Soviet Union. So this marks, I think, his fourth or fifth major peace treaty. This man has it. I don't know what he did during the Biden administration, if he went back and reread his own book, but he has come back stronger than ever, master of the deal. This is an amazing moment for everybody on this planet to see this man as a peacemaker, a peace bringer. It's been a long time since we've had an American president who does that.
Yeah. I mean, the agreement aims to end nearly 40 years of violent conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh, which has claimed tens of thousands of lives and displaced countless families, according to the New York Post. Shelley, what are your thoughts on this historic moment?
Yeah, it was historic. And, I think about it sometimes. I just wonder if these countries and these territories get tired of fighting. And it's like they're fighting to save face, and now they need someone to say, okay, come in, both sides. What is the issue? Let's really sit down and hone it in and find some way we can agree. Thankfully, we are really blessed here in the United States. I mean, we don't really have this. We'll probably never have had it fighting over which state is too close to this border or this city and things like that. I mean, we are blessed in that way. Hopefully, we will never know or experience what they experience over there in Azerbaijan and Armenia, the regions. But this is a momentous historical occasion. The people of Armenia, which is the minority in that area, now they can, I guess, have some peace. The Azerbaijans can have some peace about fighting. They live together, but then the people who fled from Azerbaijan to Armenia, they might be able to come back home. I mean, it's just breathtaking. And that was a beautiful ceremony. Even President Trump, you heard him in the background say, oh, this is a beautiful bill or something like that, a beautiful document. It's just heartwarming, and to see that President Trump is the man, not just for the hour, he's the man of the day, if you will, certainly the man of the year. And whether or not the Nobel Committee gives him the award, I think is going to be a whole lot of political hullabaloo about it, which I think he should have it. He's done more in 6 months than Obama did, and Obama got the Nobel Prize for what? Just writing a damn book.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. Even under Biden, U.S. diplomacy was often reactive and weak. I mean, this is amazing. Stability in this region could mean a stronger energy corridor from the Caspian Sea to Europe, weakening Russia's influence and increasing Western leverage. And as you mentioned, Nicole, I looked this up for today. He's actually brokered about 7 peace deals. So you got Thailand and Cambodia, Israel and Iran, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo, and Egypt and Ethiopia, and now Armenia and Azerbaijan. So this is, I mean, he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. He deserves this. And I don't even understand why they would not give it to him. Again, from the Abraham Accords in the Middle East to the de-escalation in the Korean Peninsula, it's his presidency is unmatched. It is unmatched.
Okay, Jay, you remember who we're dealing with, okay? These globalists, leftists, progressives, whatever you want to call them, they hate America. They certainly hate President Trump. and they will do anything they can to not give it to him. But so that's why we have to. I mean, I think he will get it. He certainly earned it, and he earned it right now at 6 months or 7 months into his presidency. He has already earned it many times over.
Absolutely,
I agree. And one of the things I think most poignantly, the Nobel Peace Prize is a Norwegian thing, right? They are globalists, make no mistake. However, the peace that President Trump has brought to this planet stands as a testament to this man's skill, whether or not he's awarded or not. Sometimes this award goes to people that they like for a variety of reasons, like President Obama, because, you know, he was Black and he wrote a book. But in the face of a world that was literally on fire, holy wars all over the place, he has managed to bring peace and understanding. And whether or not he's awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, the world is grateful. And I think that in and of itself, history is going to remember him very kindly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hopefully will. And if they don't, we will continue to definitely shout out all that he has done. And again, we're not sycophants. You know, when President Trump does something we disagree with, we talk about it. You guys know, who have watched this show, I was very vocal during President Trump's campaign about how what it appeared to be him distancing himself from the pro-life movement. And so I was very vocal about that. But you know, his policies and his agenda say to the contrary. You know, Planned Parenthood was just defunded. We no longer have to use our tax-paying money to pay for them. So his stance on these transgenders and getting males out of women's sports has been remarkable. I don't think there has been any other president in history that has done more for securing and trying to promote parental rights, you know, championing biology and just common sense morality. So, you know, we give credit where credit is due. And so just to kind of go back to what we said about Candace Owens, if she wants to be in the camp of people like Charlemagne the God, who was just asked, how do you think the last 6 months has gone? And he was disappointed. This is who she's aligning her. This is what she said, the same thing. She disappointed in President Trump and saying that he hasn't, you know, done a lot in this first 6 months. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So we will certainly continue to follow this story. It is historic, and look, this is only 6 months, folks. I mean, this is only 6 months.
Yes, I know.
It feels like a whole year has passed.
It does. It really does.
All right. So thank you guys so much. As you all come in, please hit the like button. It really helps to get our video out to a wider audience. And we appreciate the support. Yes, JT, I met Leonard. Yes, Leonard. I can't even remember his last name. That's Charlemagne's real name.
Right,
yes.
right.
Yes, indeed. Or as you know, I always say, big dummy. Yes, he is. He's a big dummy. He looked like a fool on that interview. If folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, we go back to our channel under the video tab and check out his interview. We did a video on it that he did on Fox News. He looked like a pure fool, a big black dummy is what he looked like. So there you have it. Please, folks, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, please, as you come in. It helps to get this video out to a wider audience, and we really appreciate the support. All right. So still talking about President Trump. So he just dropped a political grenade on Washington, folks. He announced he's ordering the Commerce Department to launch a brand new U.S. census that excludes illegal immigrants. And he's using data from the 2024 presidential election to make sure it's accurate. Why? Because counting people who are here illegally inflates the political power of blue states like California and New York, while pushing red states that actually follow the law. take a look at this next clip. This is Brad Todd talking about how the 2020 census had many errors that were a detriment to red states. This is clip 2.
One of the big things is it helps decide congressional maps.
Right.
Does this have everything to do with redistricting?
Well, it does. In fact, we know the 2020 census, the errors were almost always to the detriment of red states. Blue states like Rhode Island.
Do we know that?
We do know that. The Census Bureau's own audit of its work has proven that. Blue states like Rhode Island were overcounted. Rhode Island then didn't lose a seat. Red states like Alabama were undercounted. Listen, this is just a fact. It wasn't all red-blue, but it was disproportionately red-blue.
All right. So, Shelley, what are your thoughts on this?
Let the counting begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let the counting begin. We need to get our books cleaned up instead of the Democrats, the left, always cooking the books. Let's doge the Census Bureau. I don't care. We need to get an accurate count, and we need to count legal Americans who are born here, not illegal people who come here and steal our land, time, labor, whatever. No, they should not be counted. I know they have historically been counted, but they should not be. I know there's going to be a constitutional battle about the 14th Amendment saying whole persons or count every person, but that's the problem. The Supreme Court may need to be in this fray, but we need to get our books straight. Americans, I am tired of my vote being counted amongst all these other illegal people who don't belong here. And then I got to wind up paying for their asses for the things that they use and the services that they use. I'm still paying for them too. Enough.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a super chatter here. Thank you all so much. All right, let's see here. We have Kung Fu CJ with the $5 super chat says, think about it. What if he had this administration in 2016? Yes, indeed, Kung Fu CJ, talking about President Trump. But everything happens for a reason. God allows it to happen for a reason. I think everything is happening the way it should. Nicole, what are your thoughts on this redoing of the census?
I love it. I love the entire concept. For too long, Title 13 has dictated that number one, we can't use the information from the census for reasons of deportation, homeland security. Like all of this information is super confidential. However, people have used that confidentiality to skew the numbers. And this is what he was talking about in the clip. When you take a look at the states that have been undercounted, these are red states. We're talking Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, and states that have been overcounted are these little tiny peon states. You're talking Delaware, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, of course, but not a small state, Ohio, Rhode Island, and Utah. These are places where Democrats have too many seats. If I had my way and I had that magic wand, Title 13 would be reconsidered while we still have control of the House, the Senate, and Trump is on a winning streak with the Supreme Court of the United States. This is the time to take a look at that. There's no reason for us to collect data that we're by law unable to use. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So they spend their time counting illegal aliens, but do nothing with that information. If we are indeed going to secure our homeland, if that is the goal, then when they do the census and you and your 15 people, family are all illegal, that information should be turned over to the Department of Homeland Security. At some point, we've got to get very serious about getting the people who have invaded us out of here. We talk about the 14th Amendment where it says, whole persons. I don't think the framers could have conceived that any sitting legislature of the United States would allow, yet let alone welcome, an invasion of the United States by foreign nationals. So this is a really interesting constitutional question. I'm very interested in how it's going to play out. But Trump's got this right. Non-citizens should not be counted in the census. We should not be offering them services. They should not have the ability to live here and prosper. When they do that, they take away from American citizens, and we do need to stand up for America first.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just common sense. It's just common sense. And in this next clip, Stephen Miller is talking about how the Democrats stole 20 to 30 House seats by counting illegal aliens in the census. Take a look. This is clip 3.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it that illegals are not counted as part of the next census?
Well, I mean, this is such a fundamental issue to our democracy. So think about this conversation we've been having, you've been covering, about apportionment and about gerrymandering and about representation in Congress. Mm-hmm. Democrats have stolen, depending upon how you count it, and no one really knows the number for sure, right? No one knows, right? But just being conservative, Democrats have stolen 20 to 30 House seats by counting illegal aliens in the census. I mean, just think about that for a second. They stole 20 or 30 House seats by counting illegal aliens in the census. And now you have Democrats talking about, oh, Republicans can't change their congressional maps? You have literally brought invaders into this country by the tens of millions to rig the results of the census and the apportionment of our congressional seats. And then on top of that, of course, you have a situation where even though Republicans won a landslide in the House popular vote, Democrats have so thoroughly rigged and gerrymandered and manipulated their districts beyond all recognition that Republicans only gained a 4-seat majority, despite winning a much smaller majority in the popular vote in 2010 and getting 63 seats. Remember the 2010 election? A much smaller popular vote majority produced 63 seats. So, look, Democrats cheat. We all know Democrats cheat. We've all understood that. But they're counting of illegal aliens in the census. They have to be excluded. The Commerce Department, under the leadership of Howard Lutnick, is working on a plan now to make sure that we do, in fact, exclude illegal aliens from the census.
Yeah,
100% agree. 100% agree. By counting people who entered here illegally, we legitimize them breaking the law. And we send the message that citizenship and legal entry don't matter.
Exactly.
Shirley, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right. I want to address what Kung Fu CJ, he asked. Think about if this had happened in 2016. Well, granted, President Trump didn't have this administration in 2016, but guess what he did do? He appointed, and they won, if you will. They were appointed and nominated to the Supreme Court. Amy Coney Barrett, Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. So the court, he had the wherewithal, the insight, the confidence, the courage to nominate those people and appoint them to the bench. That's number one. Number two, when these people are counted, illegal people are counted, we get the representatives like, what's her name? Ramirez. We talked about her last week.
Yeah.
We talked about her. And then the lady in New York that was talking to, I think, the Haitian ambassador. We have sitting Congress people advocating and quote unquote representing illegals here. You as Congress people, senators and congressmen, no shame about it, representing illegal people in America, and they gloat about it. They go and say, like Ramirez, she's a Guatemalan first, or whatever she said. This cannot happen. This has to stop. These people are representing or supposed to represent Americans. We pay the taxes. We are the ones. This is our country, our Constitution. And damn it, enough is enough. Get them out. Certainly do not count them. And while you're not counting them, like the Penske truck today, I think it was in LA, and they used the Penske truck to get the illegals. Capture more of them. Capture more of them and ship them over the border.
Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts here?
I think it's a very interesting time, and I agree with Shelley. We have enough representation on the Supreme Court to do some very interesting things when it comes to not counting illegals, to not gerrymandering, to not let race be a reason to separate congressional districts. In fact, there's a pending court case now with the Supreme Court, it's Louisiana versus Callis, where they're saying that it should be illegal to draft a congressional district based on simply race, not on any of these other factors like income, socioeconomic things. So that case should have been heard this session of the Supreme Court. They're pushing it to 2025, 2026. I think they're kind of waiting on the midterms like everybody else. But we definitely, as conservative voices, we have to vote in the midterms. I know people don't like it because it's not a presidential election and it's not sexy and all these other things, but we have to retain power in order to make sure that these illegal aliens who are killing all of us to get out of here. This is the only way it's going to happen. Because I know, if the Democrats take control of the House, even by one seat, they're going to do nothing but drag their feet on any legislative priorities that would make this country great again. It is their vowed thing. They've said this over and over again. We have got to retain power in the House, probably increase a few things in the Senate in order to get America first, the law of the land for a long term. I think it's important, this redistricting battle that's brewing across the state, especially here in our state in Maryland, is going to be important. But we have to hold the ground. We have to. And this is just too important for us not to actively participate.
Absolutely. You have hit the nail on the head. It is very important. Every last patriot needs to vote in the midterms, or else all that has been done will be done in vain. We must vote in the midterms. And another thing that you said, or kind of touched on, folks, they are trying to steal our country. This is what they are trying to do. This isn't a globalist agenda. The goal is to erase the concept of American citizen altogether. If citizenship doesn't determine representation, then borders don't matter. And without borders, there's no nation. So we must vote in the midterms. And I hope President Trump gets this through because it's very, very important. We have some super chatters here. I want to thank you all so much. All right, let's see here. Kung Fu CJ says, we had that one. Kofi 19 with the $5 super chat. Love Kofi 19. All right. Some random guy speaks with the $5 super sticker. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Jerry Ear Early with the $5 super chat says, thank you, ladies. Over here, Big Island, Hawaii. Mahalo. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, my God. Every time I say Hawaii, I think of white sand and blue water and pineapple and sweet fruit. Oh, wow. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. As you all come in, please hit that like button. It helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience, and subscribe. We are on there. We have a goal to hit 200,000 subscribers by Labor Day. We're so close, but we need your help to do it. So share this video in a DM on your social media. Share the link on your timelines and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this is very important, folks. And let me just say this one last thing. Don't let the left tell you you're racist because you don't support illegal immigration. Okay. This is the new talking point of the left. You're racist. You don't want brown people in this country. You're racist. Well, President Biden let in a enormous amount of people at the southern border, and just so happens many of them were brown. We want them out because they're illegal. It has nothing to do with skin color. But this is the new talking point by the likes of Jasmine Crockett and the rest of them. Don't let them do that. Don't let them try to guilt you or shame you because you believe in America first and this country, and we should have borders. And we're against funding the globalist machine. Okay. What are your thoughts on that, Shelley?
KJ, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want the baby, the bathtub, and the bath water to go. I want them all to go if they are here illegally, and then put the parents in the tub, and maybe you can float the tub down the river. I mean, hell, Moses did it. I mean, they put them on the river and float them down, let them go. I don't care if they're here illegally. I want them all to go. Clean house, no qualms about it. Call me racist. I will wear it well. That's fine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts on that? This has been they've been pushing this for the last couple of weeks now about this. If you are against illegal immigration, you're racist.
Well, at first, you can't be black if you didn't support Joe Biden. They have all of these ultimatums, our way or no way. And the truth of the matter is most Americans don't want to have to pay for people who shouldn't be here. I mean, overwhelmingly, there hasn't been one survey yet that says the American people are okay with increased taxes to pay for people who should not be in this nation. I mean, it is basic. Again, because I'm pro-American doesn't mean I'm anti everybody else. It just means that I don't want to fund their lifestyle. And people say, oh, well, no, it's just because they're brown. No, I want the illegal Russians out of here too. I want all of the illegal people who are here, regardless of their skin tone, to be gone. And truth be told, ICE is deporting not just brown people, they're deporting anyone who is not supposed to be here, who's a criminal, illegal alien. They have picked race because traditionally it has been a visceral reaction from Black people and white liberals. When you say racist, people's ears perk up. They get their checkbooks out. They start writing checks to assuage their guilt or to help you fight a fight that, that doesn't even really exist. This is their rally point. But what we have seen is the rally point's not working anymore. It's simply not. I mean, imagine years ago, Maryland Democrats sitting in at a federal building would have made like international news, would have been a big thing. But last week it was like, you guys should have something better to do than sit around out in front of a federal building, get the damn work, right? The nation has changed. Times have changed. Democrat talking points have not caught up. And they're looking at being swept completely under the rug if they continue with this race baiting. America's had enough.
Yeah. And it's all about they're creating dependency and control. So by overcounting and overfunding areas with high illegal populations, globalists ensure these regions remain dependent on government handouts, social welfare things. And that makes them politically loyal to the system that sustains them. That's why they're so adamant about having these illegals flood the country. Period. And another thing I want to bring up, as 3 Black women sitting here, Black Americans, Black folks should be offended by this idea that the Democrats continue to lump all of us together in one big pot. No, I'm not the same as Guadalupe coming here from Guatemala illegally or legally. We're not the same. I can trace my lineage to the United States for many, many generations. I have family that founded areas here in the United States. Okay. So no, while, I welcome everyone, who wants to come here and help build this country and this nation, make it the greatest, continue it or keep it the greatest country in the world. But I'm not the same as them. We're not the same. So stop lumping us all together just because we're different shades of Black.
KJ, all I gotta say, look, these FBAs again. Here we go. I don't care what. I was born here. I am Native American. That's all. FBA, whatever you want to call me or not call me, I don't give a damn. Okay, I was born here. I am Native American. This is my country. Hell, I say my lineage goes back all the way to Queen of Sheba. That's who I say. I'm a lineage of her. But nevertheless, I was born on American United States soil. I am America, as Langston Hughes would say. I too sing America. And anybody who doesn't like it can kiss my ass.
Can I just piggyback on what Shelley is saying? Podcasting is definitely a different beast when it comes to keyboard warriors and people who hide behind sunshiny names who want to bring up differences. We're all about unity here on Poppin' Politics, right? Mm-hmm. But I do want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for chatting. It helps get our show out there. So keep it coming, sis. We're happy to have you. The moderators in the chat will make sure that the chat stays worthy of Poppin' Politics title. But at some point, you're going to have to stop over rationalizing this difference between Black Americans. Who's this? Who's that? We're all in the same boat. And it would be really good if we could all paddle in the same direction, that we can do things that improve our community instead of look at things that divide us it would be very interesting, just interesting, if you actually watch the show from a point of view of someone who wanted to do good things for their community rather than divide it. But I digress.
Right.
Nicole, what's this guy? Whoever this is, I'm gonna say this FBA in the chat. This Sunshine, he or she can kiss my sunshine on my ass. When he can split the cheeks, when I kiss it, he can kiss it when I split the cheeks on both sides. That's what he can do. I don't care. I was born. He can call me whatever he wants. Not an FBA, whatever. When I split the cheeks, you can kiss both sides, and there's your son right there.
Good. All right, folks. Well, that does it for us tonight. We had to pop on here and we just had to bring you the latest of what's going on. We will be back on Monday. We will be back at 9 p.m. You do not want to miss it. In the meantime, check out Just the Guys podcast tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Go to their channel at Just the Guys podcast. They're going to bring you the latest in news from a male perspective. So they're all male panel. So they're going to be on every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And it's a great show. You can go back on the channel and watch last week's live show also. Always good, deep conversations with a male perspective. All right. And then Sunday, this Sunday, I'm not sure I'll be on this Sunday, folks, Christian Conservative at KJ Christian Conservative, but we'll be back on Thursday. We're on Thursdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. All right, folks, that does it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We have another super chatter here. Colin James, thank you so much with your $10 super chat. Says, always a pleasure to be here. Brilliant show, guys. Topics that are hard to get anywhere else. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support.
Thank you so much.
Kung Fu CJ says, I am liking the likes. We are too. Get those likes up,
That's
folks.
right.
We have so many people watching. Definitely want to get the likes up. Jessica Price. Hey, Jessica, how's your daughter doing with your $10 super chat?
Mackenzie
says COVID is back in full again. It's already going around the globe. Mexico has it. No cases here yet. It's going around faster because of mosquitoes biting people that have it. Wow. All I can say is, folks, take your vitamins. Take your vitamins. The key now, right now, and I think for the near future for the future going forward, is immunity. We got to have strong immune systems because they're going to try. These globalists, these elitists are going to continue to try and stop us and try to put out these terrible, terrible diseases, viruses, whatever it is. So the only thing we're going to be able to fight that is strong immunity. So take your vitamins, drink plenty of water, and get plenty of sunshine.
Absolutely. I'll get some fresh air.
Agreed. Yeah. The sunshine is the key to that. The sunshine. Yeah. Get outside of your house. Get your children outside of the house. Let them run and play in the park. We spent, unfortunately, a few years, making our children stay in the home. And now when they get together in groups, they come home sick. We have to get more vitamin D. Everybody out. Get some sunshine. It's a beautiful summer. I'm hoping for an even more beautiful fall because I've had enough of this doggone heat here in the swamp. I've had enough, KJ. I've had enough.
I'll never say that. Never ever.
I've had enough. I have had enough. I have had enough of this stifling heat. I have had it up to here with this stifling heat. Done. Come on, fall. Come on. Let's get some crisp mornings. That would be so amazing.
Oh my gosh. Mute her. Somebody mute Nicole. Mute the mic.
Not today. Let me tell you. Get the hell out of here, Summer. I've had enough.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sad. I'm so sad. I don't want the summer to end. But everything has to come to an end. So you're right. We got 4 seasons here in Maryland. So if I want it hot all year round, I have to move to Florida, which I hope to one day. But Josh Winston with the $10 super chat. Love y'all. Thank you so much, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
All right.
We got
another one. We got Brown Eyes. Hey, Brown Eyes.
My
Thank you,
brown eyes blue.
Oh God, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Brown Eyes. We appreciate you. We appreciate you all. We appreciate you all. It's been such a great
Absolutely.
ride. We're building family. We're building friends here. Like-minded people with shared values, all colors of the rainbow, all walks of life, rural and urban, suburban. It's all over the place. But we have one shared common thread, and that is we love America. We love America. We love freedom. And that's really what it is. All right, folks. Again, thank you all so much. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Have a great week.